So let's start by taking a few moments to settle and center ourselves. We're lying comfortably with the legs extended, the feet about the width of the mat apart. Got the arms down by the sides of the body, the palms facing upwards, the hands relaxed. The shoulders are down away from the ears. The head is heavy. And we can take 3 long, slow, deep breaths in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. Become conscious of the areas of your body that are in contact with the floor. And give the full weight of your body down into the floor through those points of contact. Softening and letting go. Allowing awareness to arrive at your navel, so around your belly button area. And watch the movement of the breath there. You're not controlling your breath. You're simply observing it. The rising up of the inhalation, softening down of the exhalation. And you might notice as you do this, that you're able to step back a little from the noise of your mind and the persistence of thinking. Become a little more aware of your body. And so you're witnessing your breath, and you're noticing how you are as you begin. See what's here with you. So you're scanning your body for tension, releasing any tension that you find down into the floor. Also checking in with how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. See how that's impacting your physicality. You're noticing your energy levels. So you're not judging anything, just simply observing, being a witness to your own experience. And setting the intention to move carefully, to make sure you meet your needs as you practice, and to back off anything that doesn't feel safe. Let's start to roll the head slowly and gently from right side to left side a few times. You're loosening your jaw as you roll your head, relaxing your face, softening your shoulders, and tracking the connection point between the head and the floor as you move. It's gentle massaging action to that ridge at the back of your skull. Next time your head is rolling to the right, you can take a pause there and a deep breath with a focus on your left lung. And then let's roll the head to the left, taking a pause there and a deep breath with a focus on the right lung. And then let's bring the head to center. Cradle the head with the hands, interlocking the fingers behind the head. Gently press your elbows down towards the floor so you're firing up your back muscles. They're contracting as the shoulder blades squeeze in. Back's arching a little bit there. then raise your head and squeeze your elbows together so you're looking down the length of your body. And then lower your head slowly. Let the hands slip off the back of the head. Keep the fingers interlocked. You're flipping the wrists, you're pushing the palms to the wall behind you, so you're stretching through the torso, through the arms. And then release the arms down beside you. And then let's bend the right knee and place the foot to the floor. And keeping your foot on the floor and the right knee pointing directly up towards the ceiling, lift the back of your right hip up away from the floor. So you're tipping the pelvis over to the left, a little squeeze in of your belly and a little press down of your right shoulder. And then slowly and smoothly lower your right hip down and relax it. And repeat this a few times. Push gently into the foot, you're lifting the back of the hip, you're letting the pelvis tip over to the left, and then slowly lowering the hip down. And again. And for 2 more repetitions. Next time your hip is to the floor, let the pelvis be heavy, completely relaxing your muscles. And then keep your arms on the floor, draw your right knee in towards the chest and circle it around a few times. So slow, smooth circle round without letting your hip click. And then circle in reverse. And be still, catch the knee with both hands. Take a breath in. As you exhale, squeeze the knee a little closer towards you. Your chin's tucking down, your shoulders are softening, your back is broadening. Just pause here for a moment. And then extend your right arm out along the floor with the palm face upwards, the arms at shoulder height. You've got your left hand on your right knee. And gently encourage your right knee across the body down towards the floor on the left side. So your right hip rides up and your right shoulder presses down. You might want to turn your head to the right. So coming into quite a deep twist here. And then come back to center with that right knee. And take it again. Encourage the knee down to the left. Turn your head to the right. Right shoulder pressing down into the floor. And releasing. And once more. You come into your twist, you pause there. So lift the back of your right shoulder up away from the floor. So the arm stays on the floor, head stays on the floor. You lift the right shoulder up, you press the shoulder down and take a deep breath into the right side of your back. And then with the stomach muscles drawing towards the spine a little bit there, you're bringing the knee back to center, catching hold of it with both hands. Breath in, and then as you breathe out, squeezing the knee closer towards you. And extending that right leg out along the floor and resting it. So letting it be heavy. And you might notice that the right side of the body feels quite different to the left at the moment. And tuning into those differences. And then bend your left knee and place the foot to the floor. Your right leg is relaxed. And then keeping your left foot on the floor and your left knee pointing up towards the ceiling, lifting the back of the left hip up away from the floor. So you're tipping the pelvis over to the right. And slowly and smoothly lowering that left hip down. and relaxing. Take that again. So the left hip is lifting up, the left shoulder is pressing down. It's a little hug of muscles around your ribs there. And you slowly release. If the muscles are stuttering a little bit, perhaps you go even more slowly. And again, lifting the hip up, so tipping the pelvis over to the right. It's nice and easy. And lowering the hip down. And take that for a couple more repetitions. And then when the hip next touches the floor, relaxing the pelvis, let it be heavy. Keeping the arms on the floor, draw the left knee in towards the chest, circle it round, so you're mobilizing your hip joint. Again, you want that to be smooth, so if the joint is consistently clicking, then you change the shape or the speed or the size of your movement. And then let's circle in reverse. And be still. So catch the knee with both hands. If you're interlocking the fingers to do that, go for your reverse, your unfamiliar interlock. You're taking a breath in, exhaling, squeezing the knee towards you, tucking the chin, softening the shoulders, lengthening the spine, and broadening the back. And then release that squeeze. So the left arm rests to the floor at shoulder height with the palm facing upwards. You've got your right hand on your left knee. And then you're gently encouraging your left knee down towards the floor on the right side. So letting your left hip ride up high, your right shoulder press, so your left shoulder press down. And you're turning your head to the left. And then you're coming back to center. Take it again. So a gentle encouragement of the knee down towards the floor to come into this expansive twisting action for your back. And to center. And once more, bringing the knee down. Take a pause there. And then you're lifting the back of your left shoulder up away from the floor. So the arm stays down, the head stays down, back of the left shoulder lifting. Then the left shoulder lowers and presses purposefully into the floor as you take a deep breath into the left side of your back. Now with the stomach muscles drawing towards the spine, you're bringing the knee back into center, catching hold of the knee with your hands, that same reverse interlock, taking a breath in as you breathe out, squeezing the knee closer. And then extending the leg out along the floor and resting it. So you're in a neutral position, checking in, see how your body's doing in response to these opening movements. Seeing how the left side feels in comparison to the right, seeing how your pelvis is in contact with the floor, how your back muscles are, how your shoulders are feeling. And then let's gather both knees in towards the chest. Both knees coming in. And take a breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze the knees a little closer towards you. Let's pause there for a moment. And then alternating, placing both feet down on the floor together, withdrawing both knees in towards the chest and giving them a squeeze. So take that a few times. Loosening up your back, it's massaging your pelvic organs. Feeling the pelvis tip forwards and backwards. Stimulation to the lymph glands there in the groin when you're squeezing the knees in. A simple movement, but a lot of things going on. And next time the feet are to the floor, take a pause there. So feet are hip width apart, parallel. And let's take both arms out to the side at shoulder height. Got your palms facing upwards. And then wrap your arms around your chest with your right arm on top. So this is a tight embrace, reaching the hands around the sides of the body towards the shoulder blades. So one elbow's more or less on top of the other there. And then your lower body stays still, doesn't move, as you gently tip your upper body to the right side. So you're rolling your head and you're lifting the back of your left shoulder. So you might encourage that lift with your right hand. And then you're back to center with the upper body relaxing. And take that twist again. So over to the right with the upper body. The knees don't move. The pelvis stays anchored to the floor. And then back to center. And once more. Let's tip over to the right. Pause here. Deep breath into the back of your left shoulder. And then release to center with your upper body. Keep the arms crossed, but extend them up towards the ceiling. So you've got a cross at the wrist. You'll touch your palms and interlock your fingers. And then swing the arms round in a big loose circle. So gently rocking from side to side. Head is rolling. Upper body is responding. Lower body is staying still. And then be still with the arms. Take a breath in. You can exhale the arms alongside the ears and you're pressing the soles of the feet firmly down into the floor as you do that. And then release the arms beside you. So out at shoulder height again. And wrap the arms around the chest with the left arm on top. So tight embrace, hands wrapping around the sides of the body, tops of the shoulders drawing away from the ears. You can press the feet and the back of the pelvis down into the floor to keep them anchored. And then you're tipping the upper body to the left side, rolling the head to left. So the back of the right shoulder is lifting and you might be encouraging that with your left hand. And then you're back to neutral with your upper body. And take that again. Let's tip off to the left. And to neutral. And once more, tipping to the left. Take a pause there and a deep breath into the back of your right shoulder. And then to neutral with the upper body. Extending the crossed arms up towards the ceiling. So there's a cross at the wrist, you're touching the palms, you're interlocking the fingers, and then let's take a reverse circle round with the arms. So you might need to try a circle in each direction to see which one feels unworked. So again, nice and loose. You might experiment with a long breath out as you're swinging your arms to see how that feels. And then be still, take a breath in, exhale the arms alongside the ears. You're pressing the feet down into the floor. You're pressing the middle of your back down into the floor. And then releasing the arms down beside you. Checking in. Just watching the flow of energy through you. And then let's cradle the head with the hands. So you're interlocking the fingers behind the head. And press the elbows down towards the floor as you lift the pads of your toes up. So just the pads of your toes, the balls of the feet are on the floor. So there's a little arch underneath the soles of your feet and there's an arch of your spine. And then let's release that. So you'll lower your toes down, release the pressure of the elbows, push the hips up towards the ceiling. So you're lifting your pelvis to the sky. And then keep your pelvis lifted to raise your head and look towards your legs. And then the head stays lifted and you lower the hips slowly down onto the floor. So upper back might lift as the lower back descends. And then you're lowering your head and you relax for a moment. So let's take that again. We lift the pads of the toes up and press the elbows down. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades in towards one another and you're activating the muscles of your legs. And then you lower your toes, you release the pressure of the elbows, you push into the feet, lift the hips up. So you're leading that with your pelvis rather than with your rib cage. So you're lifting your hips up high. And then with the hips lifted, raise the head. So you're looking towards your legs. And then keep the head lifted as you lower the hips down. So maybe upper back lifts a little higher as the lower back comes down. And then when the hips touch the floor, the head comes down and you relax. Let's do that once more. So you lift the pads of the toes, you press the elbows down, you squeeze the shoulder blades in. And then you release that. Press the feet into the floor. Lift the hips up high. So it might be that the hips are coming a little bit higher each time, but not forcing that. Just pressing the four corners of each foot down into the floor. So not rolling inwardly or outwardly on your ankles. So the head's raising. So feeling the length to the back of your neck. And then with the head lifted, the hips are going down. And then when the hips touch the floor, the head comes down. And we can relax. So bring the arms down beside you. Keeping your feet hip width apart, you can bring both knees down towards the floor on the right side. Just turn your head to the left. It's really loose and easy. And then come through center and take that off to the other side. And come through center, and then you can bring the knees in towards the chest. Let's angle the knees out wide and have the toes touching, and start to circle your pelvis round. So you're tracing a circle of pressure around your low back, keeping the knees wide and the feet touched together, and at the same time trace a circle of pressure around the back of your head by circling your chin. Let's check that you're breathing easily and that you're not bracing yourself against the floor with your shoulders. Face is relaxed. And then let's reverse it. So pelvis circling in reverse, head, chin circling in reverse. Let's notice the quality of attention to the body when we're doing something that requires complex coordination. So attention gets honed. And be still. And then squeeze your knees together. You can catch hold behind the thighs with the hands. Extend both legs up towards the ceiling with your feet flexed. So aim to have your heels above your hips. You're pressing the back of the pelvis down. You're pressing the low back down. And then let's bend the knees, place the feet to the floor, relaxing. And let's come up to sitting. So we'll do that by rolling off into a fetal position to the left side. You can press your right hand down into the floor in front of your face and uncurl yourself to upright. And let's sit with the legs out wide, just wide enough to be able to sit tall, so you can have your feet closer together than mine are. And the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Have the hands down on the floor beside you. So just imagine that you're sitting against a wall and the back of the head and the back of the shoulders are connected to that imaginary wall. And let's inhale, take the arms out and up above the head, touch the palms, hold the breath, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, let's bring the hands down in front of the heart. And do that twice more, inhaling, holding the breath, lengthening, and exhaling. And again, inhaling, holding the breath, lengthening, and exhaling. And then keep the hands to the heart and lift your right sit bone up away from the floor. So your straight right leg is going to internally rotate, and then you lower that right sit bone down. You do it again. You lift the sit bone up and you're feeling contraction through the right side of the body. You lower the sit bone down. And again, let's lift and lower. And then change sides. Lift the left sit bone up and lower it down. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. And then interlock your fingers, flip the wrists, push the palms forward. Massage the muscles of your upper back by squeezing the shoulder blades towards you and away from you a few times. And then let's take the arms up alongside the ears. Release the arms out and down. Slide your straight legs together and find your ground. So you find your sit bones on the earth. And then let's draw the right knee in towards the chest with the foot flexed and the heel lifted a little from the floor. And tense just your right leg. So really engage the muscles of the right leg. So not the shoulders, the right leg tensing. You're going to extend the leg out in front of you and lift it an inch or so from the floor. And then lower it down. And lift it again. And lower it. And again. And lower it. And then draw your left knee in towards the chest, catch hold, flex your foot, lift your heel, and tense the left leg. So see if you can tense your leg without tensing the shoulders or the rest, any other part of your body. So just tensing the left leg. And then you extend the leg out along the floor and you lift it just an inch or so and you lower it down. So you're not leaning back as you lift the leg and lowering. And once more lifting and lowering. And then take the feet a little bit further apart and just shake your legs out. Let's bend the knees and place the feet flat to the floor, so about the width of your mat apart, so quite wide apart. And the hands can be down beside you. And let's bring both knees down towards the floor on the right side. So bring your knees down to the right, just noticing what's happening in your left hip there. And you're coming back to centre. And again, both knees down to the right. You're sitting up tall as you do that. And to centre. Now once more, let's bring the knees down to the right. Take a pause and perhaps a little circular movement of your top hip. And then in reverse. And be still, so you're relaxing the hip there. Bring your left hand onto the floor in front of your right knee, and then your right hand about shoulder width apart from that. And tense all your muscles. So you can press the feet down into the floor to engage the legs. You can press the palms down to engage the arms. You're hugging around the ribs. You're hugging your internal organs. So everything is tensing. And then everything is releasing. Just walk your hands forward. You might not come much further forward. You might actually be able to rest your elbows to the floor and hang your head. And then take a deep breath into the back of your body. Just a few moments hanging out here, present with your physical sensations. And then walk the hands back in towards you. Keep your legs as they are. Turn the torso to face forward. And then slowly, gently lift the knees up. So go carefully with that. You've been in an unusual position. And then we'll do it on the other side. So you're bringing both knees down towards the floor on the left side now. So see what's happening through your right hip. So it might feel quite different on this side. And then you're coming back to upright. And again, let's bring the knee down. And to upright. And once more. And then you're taking a pause there and perhaps a rotation. Excuse me, of your top hip. And then in reverse. And be still. And then your right hand's coming to the floor in front of your left knee, and your left hand is shoulder width apart from that. And you're tensing your muscles. So you're pressing the feet down into the floor, pressing the palms down, hugging everything to center, so hugging around your hips, your shoulders. And then release. come forward somehow. So you might be down on your elbows. Deep breath into the back of the body. Just hanging out there for a few moments. And let's walk the hands back in. So legs stay as they are, turning the torso to face forward. So you've got your hands beside you, and then you're coming to neutral. And let's keep the feet wide. Catch hold underneath the thighs, the backs of the knees there with the hands. And then flex the feet, draw your belly in, lift your breastbone up, and raise your heels an inch or so away from the floor. So see if you can hold that for a moment. And then perhaps the calves come out parallel with the floor, and you can imagine that you've got the soles of the feet pressing against a wall, and see what happens to your core as you press into your feet. Maybe this is enough, or maybe you can now also release your hands and touch the palms together and reach the fingertips forward. And then let's lower the feet down. Just wrap the arms around the low legs, let the head hang, let the shoulders roll. Just breathing with awareness into the back of the body. And then raising the head and bringing yourself up to all fours. Just adjust the camera a little bit. So you're coming to all fours. Spreading your fingers, pressing the front of your ankles down into the floor. So feeling the ground, noticing the ground. Let's take a rocking action back and forth over your wrists and your knees. And then let's take the buttocks back towards the heels to be in a child's pose, extending the arms out in front of you. And then come up through all fours and into a dog pose. So you tuck your toes, lift your knees and your hips, come up into your dog. And then back down onto your knees, and let's step the right foot through in between the hands. Your knee and your heel are in line. And then press the feet firmly down into the floor. Bring the hands onto that ankle. Inhale, take the arms out and up and touch the palms. And exhale, bring the arms down. And let's do that again. So you inhale, you take the arms out and up, and you touch the palms. And you exhale, you bring the arms down. Let's come back to all fours. And from there to child's pose. And then up into dog pose. So softness in your knees to accommodate the length in your back, and you're broadening your shoulders out, softening your neck. Back down onto your knees, left foot steps through in between the hands. So knee and heel in line. Pressing both feet down, activating the legs, resting the hands on the ankle, and then you're inhaling, arms out and up, and exhaling, hands back onto the ankle, and again inhaling, exhaling, and then to all fours, and into child's pose. From child's pose into dog pose. From dog pose, coming back down, stepping the right foot to the back of the mat, the left arm out to the side at shoulder height, and then twisting to the left. So you're reaching your left arm up towards the ceiling, you're lengthening your right arm, and you're activating your straight leg. A hug of muscle through the straight leg and around the hips. So deep body shape breath here. And then bring the hand down. Come to all fours, to child's pose, to dog pose. Back to all fours, and you're stepping the left foot to the back of the mat, the ball of the foot's on the floor. So right arm out to the side at shoulder height, and twisting from the navel to take the right arm up towards the ceiling. So lengthening across the chest, lengthening the neck, lengthening your straight leg. Deep body shape breath here. And then the hands coming down to all fours, to child's pose. Up into dog pose. Back to all fours, just stepping your right foot through in between the hands. And here you can come up onto the pads of your fingers and press your right arm into your right leg and back again, right leg into the right arm. And then you tuck the toes of your left foot under it. You're lifting your back knee, you're lengthening your back leg, you're lengthening your spine, you're engaging your core, you're hugging the muscles to the bones of the legs. And maybe you can take this right arm from the floor and reach it alongside the ear. And then the hand comes down. You're back to all fours, to child's pose, to dog pose, so active in your dog. And then back down onto your knees. To step the left foot through in between the hands. So you're up on the pads of your fingers, pressing the left arm and leg into one another. And you tuck the toes of your back foot under, lift your back knee, lengthen your back leg, lengthen your spine as well. So see how that is. There's some support there in your core. And then maybe you're reaching your left arm alongside your ear. And then the hand comes down to all fours, to child's pose, to dog pose. From dog, let's find plank. So you're going to bring your shoulders over your wrists and straighten the body out. A little hug of muscle to bone. Back up into your dog. Down again into your plank. Back up into your dog. And then we'll come to plank and lower ourselves flat to the floor. So you can either do that from plank or you can come through all fours and you lower yourself down. And you make a pillow with your hands and you rest your forehead. You can have your toes touching and your heels falling out to the side. And you can breathe deeply in with awareness to the back of your body. And then reach the right arm out to the side at shoulder height and sweep it round behind you so the forearm comes to the small of your back. Take a backward rotation of your right shoulder, your bound shoulder. And then be still with the shoulder. You've got your feet hip width apart now and you're pressing the front of the feet down into the floor, pressing the pubic bone down. And let's raise the chest and the head. So you keep your chin tucked in, raising the chest and the head. And then releasing. Change arms. So the right hand becomes the pillow. The left arm goes out to shoulder height and then sweeps round behind the back. And you're taking backward rotations of your left shoulder. And be still with the shoulder. Anchor down through the feet, through the pubic bone, raising your chest and your head. So not throwing your chin forwards, feeling your shoulder blades squeeze in and down to support your back bend. Core muscles are on. And then you're releasing. So bring the left hand in front of you as a pillow. And take a breath. Keep the arms as they are. Just activate your legs by pressing the front of the ankles down into the floor. And then lift your straight right leg up without moving your pelvis. So you don't tip the pelvis over to the left and you're still pressing the left leg down. And then you lower the right leg. Let's do that again. Lift the right leg up. And then lower it. And again, lift. And lower. And then change round. So you're pressing the front of the right ankle down into the floor. And you lift your straight left leg without moving your pelvis. You don't tip the pelvis to the right. And then you lower the leg down. Just check that your stomach muscles are drawing towards the spine as you lift the leg. And lowering down. And once again, let's lift. And then lower. And relax for a moment. Let's take the arms out to the side, shoulder height with the palms face downwards. So forehead's on the floor, chin's tucking, palms touching the floor. So stomach muscles draw back towards the spine. You anchor your legs and your feet down. You raise your legs, your chest, your arms. So don't pull your hands to the wall behind you. Keep them in line with your shoulders. You're spreading your fingers. You're reaching out into the tips of the fingers. If it feels safe for your back, also raise both your legs. If it does not feel safe, don't do it. Keep the legs on the floor. So you hold for a moment. And then let's release. And you make a pillow with the hands. So whichever hand wants to land on top, change it round, opposite hand on top. Your toes can touch together again. Your heels can fall out. You're taking a deep breath. Just a little swinging action of your hips from side to side to loosen any fatigue from your muscles. And then be still. Be with the flow of energy through you. And let's bring the hands alongside the rib cage, so palms flat to the floor beside you. Your forehead on the floor and your pelvis on the floor. As you lift your low ribs up away from the floor. So really engaging for your core. And from here, push yourself to all fours. You're leading from the center of the body. You come up, the abdomen and the chest are in line. And let's go back into a child's pose. And up into a dog pose. And then walk the feet to the hands. So you're coming into standing forward bend at the front of your mat. So standing forward bend at the front of your mat. So you've got soft knees, body folds forward, arms just hang down. So you're not trying to touch your toes, you're not trying to straighten your legs. Just folding forward with the weight more towards the front of the feet. And you focus on your breath. And see if there's a way to make the muscles to the back of your body a little more comfortable. So that might mean a deeper bend in the knees. It might mean more release in the shoulders. It might mean a longer out breath. It might mean just a sense of softening and spreading. So softening and spreading of your back muscles. And then deepen the bend in the knees. So you're letting your hips drop down. You keep your heels on the floor. And you're going to push into your feet and uncurl yourself to upright. So coming all the way to standing. So standing with the feet hip width apart. Standing on a creaky floorboard. So standing with the feet hip width apart and parallel. And you can just have your eyes closed and take a moment to settle here. So take a deep breath in. You can sweep your right arm out to the side, up alongside the ear. Hold your breath as you lengthen through the right side of the body. Keep holding the breath as you come over to the left. I'm going to exhale. Release the arm down. Do the same thing on the left side. So you take a deep breath in and then you hold the breath to lengthen through the left side. Keep holding the breath as you come over to the right. You exhale and bring the arm down. Let's hook the thumbs and pull them against one another so your arms are active. You're spreading your fingers. Let's place the right toes on top of the left foot. Take the arms alongside the ears. And then lower the arms down. Step out of your balance. Change the hook of your thumbs. Spread your fingers, activate your arms. Placing your left toes on top of your right foot. And the arms up alongside the ears. And then lowering the arms down, stepping out of your balance. Your hands onto your hips and raise your right knee level with the hips. Perhaps bringing your left hand to the outside of that knee. And then release. And change sides. So your core muscles are on. You're drawing these low ribs in and down. You're finding a focal point to fix the eyes on. And you're lifting your left knee up. So the strength of the stomach is holding the weight of the leg. And then you're bringing your right hand to the outside of the left knee. And releasing. And then we'll practice that again. Take it a step further. So here your right arm can be hanging down by the side. You're lifting your right knee up. You're bringing your left hand to the outside of the knee. You start to turn towards the knee. So you're drawing your right shoulder behind you. And then maybe extending the right arm. And then releasing with control. And take it on the other side. So the left arm's down beside you. Lifting your left knee, so your core muscles are on. Right hands to the outside of the knee. You start to twist towards the knee, drawing the belly in all the while. And then maybe you're extending your left arm behind you. So you're squeezing the shoulder blade in towards the spine there. And then let's release. And keep the hands on the hips and the feet hip width apart. Now bend your knees and shift the pelvis back as if you're going to sit down on a chair. So your chin tucks in, your spine is long, your belly draws in, and then you're bringing yourself up. That's what it looks like from the side. So you're bending your knees and you shift the pelvis back as if you're going to sit down on a chair. Let the spine lengthen, the belly draw in. And then you come back up. And once more. So you want your knees to be going directly over your middle two toes. So you don't want the knees out to the side or knocking in towards one another. So directly over the middle two toes. So you go down to a boundary you feel you can maintain. You're hugging the leg muscles to the bones. You're going to inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, keeping the legs as they are. And exhale, bring the arms down. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. And again. Straighten the legs up. Shake the legs out. Let's get some of that fatigue out of the legs. And then step your feet together. So your inner knees, your inner ankles are touching. Bend your knees and just circle the knees round a few times. Also circling through the pelvis. And then in reverse. And be still. So you're straightening your legs. Just bring the hands to prayer position in front of you. Open your middle three fingers. So your little finger and your thumb touch together. The heel of the hand is together. You've opened the middle three fingers. Also lift the pads of your toes. So this is an inhalation. And then as you exhale, you're closing your fingers and you're lowering your toes. So take that a few times. You're going to inhale, open your middle three fingers, lift the pads of your toes, and then exhale, lower the toes and close the fingers. So keep going with it. Once you've got the idea, you can perhaps close the eyes. You're inhaling, middle three fingers open, toes lift. Exhaling, middle three fingers close and toes lower. And watch how the breath is soothing you. A couple more rounds like this now. And then next time your fingers are together and your toes are lowered, pausing. So the breath is settling back to its natural rhythm. And just notice, so you've got your feet together, so it might be that your body's wavering around a little bit as it tries to find center, because you're not so stable as you would be with feet hip width apart. So just see what happens if you engage your abdominal muscles, just about 20%. Find that wavering stops. You become grounded. And then keeping hold this energy of groundedness and center. Come back to your mats. You lie back down on your mat. If you're in a space where you have a dining chair or a sofa or maybe you're in the bedroom, you've got the bed beside you, you can lie with your legs up, supported on a level. So I've got a chair here. Let's see. So you would bring yourself at right angles to the chair and rest your calves on the chair. But if you don't have a chair to hand, just lying comfortably on your mat, so either with your legs extended, your knees bent and your feet flat to the floor. So give yourself a moment to settle and to make sure you're comfortable. And then let's tense and release the body a few times to help us relax. And take a deep breath in and tense every muscle in your body simultaneously. And a long breath out. And completely release. Let's do that again. So you take a breath in, you hold the breath and you tense every muscle in the body. And then you exhale and completely release. And once more, inhaling, holding the breath and tensing. And exhaling, releasing the breath and relaxing. You might need to adjust your shoulders, make sure they're down away from the ears. You can roll the head from side to side. So this is one of the first actions that we made in the practice. Just see how it is to return to this now. And then bring the head to center. Mentally repeating the words, I relax my whole body from the crown of my head down to the tips of my toes. I relax and soften my whole body from the crown of my head down to the tips of my toes. My whole body from the crown of my head down to the tips of my toes is completely relaxed. And I relax my heart and my mind. I relax my heart and my mind. My heart and my mind are completely relaxed. And just notice where your attention is. So if it's not with the body and the breath, let's gather it back. And notice how you are as you bring your practice to a close. Just remembering how you were when you began. So we did a body scan and a check-in at the beginning. Just notice what feels different. So there might be shifts on the physical level. They might be the most obvious ones to notice. There might be shifts on the mental, emotional level, energetics. So paying close and careful attention. And looking out for the benefits. So just naming something to yourself that feels beneficial from having made the time to practice today. Setting the intention to keep hold of that benefit. And then becoming aware of your hands and your feet. Starting to move your fingers and your toes, your arms and your legs. Coming into a stretch when you're ready. Nice long stretch. And then hugging the knees in towards the chest. And then obviously if you were propped up there on a chair or a sofa or something, and just be mindful of that as you roll yourself off to the side and up to sitting. And we'll offer each other namaste.